AI governance becomes practical when it connects to recognized standards. In this section, we'll align principles like accountability, risk management, and trust with frameworks such as ISO 42001 and the NIST AI RMF, so abstract expectations become auditable operating practices. So far, we've looked at AI's enterprise impact, shadow risk, governance operating models, and lifecycle accountability. Now we connect that internal design to recognize standards and frameworks, setting up the deeper AI risk work ahead. Framework alignment turns AI governance from good intentions into a system people can trust. Instead of letting each team interpret risk differently, shared frameworks create consistent language for controls, accountability, and assurance. They also help map internal practices to expectations from regulators, customers, and auditors. That makes executive decisions clearer, audits easier, and evidence more traceable. In enterprise AI, alignment is what connects responsible innovation with defensible governance. A useful way to avoid framework confusion is to ask, what job is this doing? ISO/IEC 42001 provides the operating system for AI governance: policies, roles, controls, monitoring, and improvement. NIST AI RMF helps teams run the risk process: govern, map, measure, and manage. OECD principles define the values to protect. Responsible AI frameworks translate those values into day-to-day practices like fairness, explainability, privacy, safety, and human oversight. ISO/IEC 42001 asks us to treat AI governance as a living management system, not a binder of policies. Policies set direction, roles create accountability, risk management guides decisions, and controls make expectations real. Monitoring, management review, corrective action, and documented evidence keep the system active. The key mindset is continuous operation. Governance is not something you prove once. It is something the organization runs, checks, learns from, and improves over time. In practice, ISO 421 starts with policy, scope, objectives, roles, and stakeholder responsibilities. From there, AI risk is managed across the full lifecycle, from development through deployment, monitoring, and retirement. Controls are tracked, incidents are reviewed, and corrective actions are followed through. Evidence matters too. Model inventories, risk assessments, approvals, test results, and monitoring reports. The goal is not paperwork. It is being able to prove governance is working. The NIST AI Risk Management Framework gives teams a practical loop for handling AI risk. Govern sets the rules: accountability, roles, oversight, and culture. Map grounds the system in context: who uses it, why, where, and what impacts it may create. Measure turns concerns into evidence through testing for bias, reliability, security, privacy, and explainability. Manage is the action step. Prioritize risks, reduce them, monitor them, or escalate decisions when trade-offs require leadership judgment. NIST AI RMF is not a final approval checklist. It works best as a lifecycle discipline. MAP starts early, clarifying the use case, stakeholders, assumptions, and possible harms before commitments harden. Measure follows the evidence from data quality through testing, validation, red teaming, and production monitoring. Manage turns findings into decisions: controls, gates, escalation, and risk acceptance. Govern runs across everything, keeping ownership, documentation, policy, and oversight active until the system is retired. OECD principles help connect ethics to operating practice. They start with human-centered goals: inclusive growth, rights, democratic values, and sustainability. Responsible AI then turns those goals into controls, including fairness and bias testing, transparency and explanations, safety and security reviews, human oversight, monitoring, and escalation. This alignment gives organizations a common language for trust. It also shows regulators, customers, employees, and partners that AI is being governed deliberately, not improvised. Rather than building a separate AI governance program for every standard, create one enterprise control model. Map common requirements once, then reuse them for ISO, NIST, the EU AI Act, COBIT, and responsible AI commitments. Traceability is the key. Principles become policies, policies become controls, controls produce evidence, and evidence supports assurance reporting. This reduces duplicate work while giving auditors, regulators, certification bodies, and executives a consistent view of AI governance. A maturity model is useful only when it changes decisions. Start by comparing today's capabilities with the target across governance, risk, controls, technology, data, and culture. The gaps should translate into funded initiatives. Quick wins first, then deeper operating model changes. For executives, express this as current state, target state, and risk exposure, not technical detail. Then reassess regularly, because AI adoption, regulation, and threat conditions will keep moving the target. AI governance maturity is not just about having policies. It is about how well the organization can make decisions, control the AI lifecycle, manage risk, prove technical quality, monitor outcomes, and preserve evidence. These dimensions often mature unevenly. A team may have strong model testing but weak approval records, or clear leadership but limited post-deployment monitoring. The value of a maturity model is that it shows where governance is reliable today and where investment is needed next. Governance depth should match the consequences of the AI use case. Start by classifying the risk tier, then consider the data involved, the system's autonomy, the impact of its decisions, regulatory obligations, and how explainable the outcome must be. As those factors rise, increase validation, documentation, monitoring, approval gates, and human oversight. The goal is balance. Avoid slowing down low-risk tools, but never let high-impact or regulated systems move forward without stronger controls. Framework alignment becomes real when it is built into everyday decisions. Start with a complete AI inventory, then classify each system by risk, business criticality, and regulatory exposure. Use one control library that maps ISO 40001, NIST AI RMF, OECD principles, and internal commitments. Then place checkpoints into procurement, development, deployment, monitoring, and change control. The main risk is mistaking maturity for action. Avoid checkbox reviews, siloed ownership, undocumented approvals, and controls no one tests. The big takeaway is that effective AI governance turns principles into repeatable practice. ISO 42001 defines the management system. NIST AI RMF structures lifecycle risk work. Maturity and decision models help target effort where it matters. Next, we move into AI risk management, threat modeling, and assurance.